All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Rob here at Smirking Gun Reviews. And today, this morning, it is 8:52 in the AM. We are doing one of our Patreon patron reviews for Belinda R. A thank you to Belinda for becoming a patron of Patreon of the channel. I don't know all the words you're supposed to say. Either way, she donated to the $5 level, and she gets to choose. She got to choose something to watch for me to watch and review, and she picked season 2's finale of Penny Dreadful. It's called "And They Were Enemies." I haven't seen this in a while. Wow, this came out like a while ago. No, a few years ago. And so I was kind of like, oh God, what am I going to do? Like, because I don't quite remember. I remember it, but I don't quite remember it. But there was a little recap, and I think I still got the gist of most of everything. But to talk about Penny Dreadful, if you haven't seen it, it's a 3-season show that was on Showtime. And in my opinion, it was canceled just as it was really getting good. Now, that's not to say that what came before it wasn't, but it's a slow burn kind of show. I initially was rather disappointed watching the first season, thinking, why is it taking so long? But like all good shows, like early on, like Game of Thrones early few seasons, it was doling everything out slowly, telling a very well-crafted story and getting to know the characters and all the world and the players and everything. And so when things would happen, it's a payoff. I'm still mad that this show is canceled. Because 3 seasons just wasn't enough to me to tell this story, and it felt like kind of like by the end of it, I just kind of went, man, like it feels like there's more to it here. And they said, I think the creator said that he told the story, that he wanted to tell, and okay, that's fine. I don't really believe that. I think that most shows don't have a 3-year shelf life. Or like a 3-year, like people want to keep going. So I don't know. I don't know if more has come out about that or not. But it was also before a lot of things were getting picked up by other channels, even Netflix. But this finale is really good. And honestly, again, like if this had been canceled in season 2, that would have been worse. But it's also got a really good cast. Timothy Dalton, Eva Green. Josh Hartnett, Rory Kinnear, Billie Piper. Speaking of Billie Piper, I just uploaded my first Doctor Who video for season 8, episode 1. I'm having a hard time watching it on my PlayStation and my tablet. I had to sign out of my own account just to watch the video. I don't know if anybody's running into problems like that. I'm running into the same problem with my Sam Rockwell Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles video. I can watch it on my phone, but I can't watch it anywhere else. If anybody else is having a problem, that's how I fixed it. Unfortunately, that means that if you try to like or something, you can't watch it on other things. So if you're having a hard time watching it, I think you can do it on your phones. But I'm really proud of the Doctor Who video I just made, and I'm really proud of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle one, and of course those are the two that you can't watch. So if anybody's having a problem with that, please try to watch it on something else, because I am actually really proud of both of those videos. And I hope that this one doesn't give problems too. It happens occasionally, and it's just really weird and random, and I don't know what's causing it, if it's memory on my thing, but we're not here to talk about that. It just kind of popped into my mind and wanted to get it out there. But Billie Piper is in this. That was the person I couldn't remember from Doctor Who. She was the first companion that I watched in the Christopher Eccleston ones. She's in this. And it's just, if you don't know, this is like a telling of the different Universal type monsters that were out, but before they were Universal monsters. So yeah, like Mary Shelley's Frankenstein and Bram Stoker's Dracula, and you got, I think in season 3 there's like Dr. Jekyll, but you got like the Wolfman, you've got Prometheus Frankenstein, you got Victor Frankenstein, you got basically the Billie Piper's kind of like the bride of Frankenstein. You got Dorian Gray, who honestly he's my least favorite character in the show, just because pretty cocky fuckers just always rub me the wrong way. um, but all of these, they are all really well fleshed out, like, and realized characters. And Eva Green especially, like, because you could kind of say, like, her plot is kind of just dropped in there with all these other famous ones, but hers is like she's connected to Dracula. Dracula wants her. But where we're at in this now, correct me if I'm wrong, but the ladies that have the ladies that like have the dolls and everything, they're witches, right? Or are they Dracula's like wives? I can't remember. I thought they were witches. But some of them, a couple of them are vampires. So it's a little foggy because I'd have to watch like a whole bunch to remember all this. But in the episode 9, it would have been the penultimate episode, Josh Hartnett's Ethan kills, I want to say, I'm trying to get everybody's in here. Yeah, the Danny Sapani, the actor who plays... Goodness. It's hard to, I'm doing all this with some Benny. I really liked him. And unfortunately, they followed the whole the black guy dies first mentality. But I don't think it was intentional. I just think that they needed to lose somebody. And while it would have been maybe easier to take out the guy that with the funny beard, they chose him. And it just, because he was such a good guy and everybody liked him. He was kind of like the through line for everybody to me. Like, nobody didn't like this guy. And so, of course, that's the one you kill. You got to kill the heart. They always kill the hearts. But, so he's like, so Hartnett's character is locked in with his corpse. And Eva Green, man, like, why isn't she, like, higher up on the list of characters? Okay, Vanessa, she's dealing with the witches and this doll that's apparently either the devil or Dracula. I can't remember which, or both. Maybe it's the same damn thing. Trying to tell her that, you got to give up your soul willingly. All your friends are hurt because they're all seeing, like, Victor's seeing his creations, telling him to kill himself. And Timothy Dalton's Sir Malcolm, he's seeing his dead family. Even Eva Green is seeing like the life that she could have with Josh Hartnett. All these things, these fantasies, these illusions that these creatures are putting in front of them. And at this point, it thinks it has the upper hand. And I love how she kind of turns feral here, and turns the tables on this thing. Like, she's been running long enough, and now she's making a stand. And the witch lady, she thinks, she's going to be immortal after all this. And it's kind of just quickly handled. She starts doing, like some chanting, and the thing's chanting back, and she defeats it. Do you really defeat it, or do you really more like kind of stall it for a time? Because it doesn't seem like this kind of evil really goes away. It just maybe gets, scooted out of the room for a while. I guess that's one way to put it. And so everybody's kind of left to kind of pick up the pieces and again, like especially in Hartnett's case, he comes in there and after the little girl that's kind of manipulates him in season 3, I think she comes after him. She lets him loose on her, like, the head witch or whatever she is, and he cuts her, like, just slices her throat wide open. I love the gore in this show, speaking of. It's all really well done and faithful, and it looks like what it would look like if you rip people apart. There's no, like, shying away from it. Victor goes home to, and realizes that she's with Billie Piper's character, Lily. She's gone to hang out with Dorian Gray because they're both a couple of immortals. And during this time, she's become, she's already, what he did to her and what she's now become is, I don't know. But she doesn't want to leave with him. He tries to shoot her. He tries to shoot him. It doesn't work. Honestly, I just don't think he tried hard enough. but the story didn't want him to. Again, always aim for the head. What is it with people and head chest shots or arm shots? It's like, if you're not going to have them go for the head, then why are you even pulling a gun out? If it's not to kill, right? If you're trying, I know the first shot that he did was like kind of like, oh, like she hurt my feelings, I shot. But when it came to him, he should have shot him in the fucking head. But that's not what the story wants. And so again, I hate it. It's like, if you're not going to use the gun properly, don't put it, if you're going to have your character not use it properly, don't even have him pull the gun out. That's a small gripe because it's just about plot. It's about keeping these characters alive. So if the character isn't intending to, I hate that in all shows and not just here. Like, and I'll even give an example so I'm not being biased, but on the X-Files, Mulder would pull his gun on the Cancer Man all the fucking time. And it's like, if you're really not going to have him kill him, then put the fucking gun away. Even the Cancer Man calls him out and knows that, like, hey man, you couldn't do it before. But people want to see the gun. They want to see sort of intent before they get like talked out of it. Do they? And then, I don't know if they call him Prometheus in this. I always call him Prometheus. Proteus. Is that what they're, or is that, I can't find him in here. It's driving me, now it's going to drive me crazy. Hang on a second. Okay, they have him listed as John Clare, Rory Kinnear, who I kept thinking was Varys. Conleth Hill from Game of Thrones. They have that kind of same kind of facial expression. He's been around for a good long while, and I guess I just kind of took him for granted. He's been in a lot of like James Bond and Imitation Game. I need to pay more attention. But I really like this character, and of course he ends up with the circus people who want to take advantage, the small-time schemers that don't understand what's in front of them. And it's kind of an interesting way, because in the original Frankenstein, there was a blind person, right, that took him in, and he didn't kill him. And in this, there's the blind girl, and you think, oh, she's blind, she has to be good. And I like that shows in this, that just because somebody's got a handicap doesn't make them a good person, and I guess, you can let your guard down, and it's a way of saying that, we don't look at handicapped people as people all the time. Like, we kind of elevate them to the state of, well, they're handicapped, so we have to feel sorry for them. We have to, they're obviously, good people that something bad has happened to, when it's just, sometimes people are just bad people. It doesn't matter if they can't see or can't walk or whatever. If someone's bad, they're bad. It doesn't, you don't, I'm not saying don't be nice to crippled people. I'm just saying that I like that they flip it, and how he just literally just with ease breaks out of his cage and just kills them. Like, he's just toying with them. And then when she comes into the room and, he says nothing and waits for her. And when his heart's broken because he thought that, maybe he was coming to rescue her or him. And she wasn't. And she says starts saying terrible things, and he just quietly leaves her to find that, he's mad, he's killed her parents, these terrible people, and she's one of them. And the fact that he didn't kill her, it shows how more humane he is, really, than she is. Which also brings up what Eva Green says, that he's more human than most humans, or anybody that she's ever met, as far as humans go. Now, again, story-wise, Ethan feels so guilty. He goes to the Pinkertons and turns himself in, which, I mean, come on. Classic bad idea. Anyway. I just feel like, if you wanted to die, there's better ways to do it. And so, of course, they capture him, and they're all just happy as pigs in shit because, to them, it's like a serial killer walking in. And so they plan on taking him back to America, to his family, where he's supposed to, whatever. But we know in season 3 that's not quite how it happens, if you get to that point. Who else here do we have to talk about? So, yeah, Dr. Frankenstein basically just you know, he just runs with his tail between his legs while Lily and Dorian are dancing around in their own blood, which is really cool because they're all in white and she's just, the blood's all over the floor. And Malcolm, he's on his way back to bury his friend in Africa. And yeah, I mean, it's all just a really well set up, you know, it's a good early finish for the events of season 2. It's a good setup for what's going to happen in season 3. And again, it just makes me go, man, this show should have kept on going. It really, really should. And I hope this was an all right video for you, Belinda. I tried to cover what I remember and what I think of the show. And I mean, that's the one thing, is if you haven't seen Penny Dreadful, I highly recommend it. It is a slow burn. It does take patience because it's not just giving you monster fights and stuff. Like, I initially thought this was just going to be some crazy take on the Universal monsters. But it's much more deep and dense and personal and well-written and crafted. And it reminds me of something that would be on the BBC, except for all the swearing and nudity and violent content. Which is awesome. But anyway, I think that, you know, by talking about this, I feel like I've done my job. I don't know. Is it worth the $5? Please let me know, Belinda, if this was good enough for you. Otherwise, if anybody liked this video, please hit the like button, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell for all notifications. You can contribute to the channel by hitting any of the descriptions below. If you want to become a Patreon and get your own choices out there for what I should review for you, something you want to see, go ahead and go on Patreon and join the $5 tier. Otherwise, if you just want me to review something and you don't want to do the $5 monthly thing, you can just go to PayPal and put it there and send like a message to me, and I will honor it that way. Otherwise, and if for people that do go on Patreon, if you want more reviews, you just got to go to PayPal to put the other $5 in, as many as you want. So, anyway, that's my first Patreon patron review. I hope I did a good enough job for you, Belinda. I really, really do. I can't thank you enough for becoming a patron. Hopefully this is the start of more people seeing what is possible on the channel. And I will be back with Don Roderick's House of Games in a little while. And so this is Rob at Smirking Gun Reviews saying have a great day, and we will see you on the next video.